Hello there, my name is Michael Maynard and welcome back to Gorilla Picking. Now, what we are going to do in this second part of the Rav Bariach Locxis series is talk about how to pick this lock. So this is a tutorial on how to pick these things. They are not a difficult lock, but they do have a couple of quirks. So again, I suggest that in the real world this isn't a particularly good system to buy. If I had to buy a, let's call it a low to medium security pin-in-pin system, it wouldn't be this one. I would most definitely choose the good old Mul-T-Lock interactive before I chose this. However, as a hobbyist, it's got some interesting features. So let's talk about those. First thing about this one is that this particular one that I've got has got threaded chambers. So and I don't know if they all have these, but if you are looking for a lock to progressively pin to learn how to pick a pin-in-pin lock, then a lock like this is very definitely a good one to start with. Second thing about it is that the drivers, both the outers and the inner drivers, are standard, so there are no spools, nothing in this lock needs counter rotation. So that makes it easy to pick as well. The only little trap for young players, the only tricky bit that we really need to talk about, is that you need to push up the interactive pins far further than you would think. Now what I've done here is got this thing pinned up, so the key pins are here ready to go, and you will see that chamber 2, so the pins in chamber 2 look so short that it looks like I've made some kind of mistake. You know, it looks like the lock's broken. Now it's not broken, it's just that the interactive element in chamber 2 in particular has to push those pins miles up above the flush level of the inside of the keyway there. So when you're picking this lock, normally when you're picking a dimple lock, you actually you really do anything you can to not rotate your pick 90 degrees. Now the reason for that is that it's actually very easy to jam your pick in one of these locks, and believe me, you don't want to be that guy, right? So when you're picking one of these things, you're only making very small rotational movements and never going even remotely close to the pick being rotated at 90 degrees. Now on the other hand, not only to set this real short little pin here in chamber 2, not only do you have to rotate the pick through 90 degrees, but you actually have to push the whole damn thing up as well. So when I pick multi-locks and pin-in-pin locks in general, my reference point for my pick is the bottom corner of the lock, so the bottom corner of the keyway down here. And if you just rotate it 90 degrees from there, you don't get enough height. You don't in fact get anywhere near enough height to get this pin set. So what you've got to do is rotate it right up and under and push the damn thing up, and only then are you going to get these interactive pins set. Now if you don't do that, what is going to happen is that you're just going to go round and round and round in circles and never get the thing open, because you never actually get those interactive chambers set. I just want to show you the bitting on the key. Now I'm not particularly concerned about the pin-in-pin bitting, okay, that's just a bit of a gimme really. But the thing that I think is interesting about this one is that we do have a little bit more complicated bitting on the interactive chambers than we do in a standard multi-lock interactive. So if I just turn that to the light there, what you're going to see here is that the first chamber here, just ignore that ding, that's the last video rendering. This one here, the inner and the outer are both picked to the same height. This one here, the inner is picked to a slightly higher height than its corresponding outer, because we've got that little ball bearing like a ball point pen that sticks out. And in fact, everything on chamber 2 is higher than chamber 1. So I think there's actually 2 different heights here. This one only pokes up a fraction of a millimetre, and this one here pokes up about double that amount. So that's why I think we have got 2 different heights there and 3 different heights for the inners, making the 6 possible combinations. So with all that in mind, I am now going to reassemble the lock. There's no reason you guys need to sit through that. I'll reassemble this thing and then we will pick it. So back in a second, guys. Okay, so how are we going to get into this? Well, what we are going to do is we're going to have our pick in the bottom right hand corner of the lock. We are going to be rotating our pick clockwise, so that means we want the tension against that, so we want that counterclockwise. So I'm going to pick it like so. In this one, it's actually not going to matter much either way because you know, there's no spools to set anyway. But let's do it that way. All right, so tension goes on, and we are looking for our first outer binder, and it's pin 5, and we get a little click out of that. Okay, we're coming back out. Got to click on 4, 1 nothing, 2 nothing, 3 nothing, 4 nothing, 5 nothing. Okay, so we're missing, so click on 3, there it is. Alright, trying to come back out again. We're stuck on something, we're actually stuck on pin 2, so we're going to have to rotate this a long way. Still going, still going, still going. I think that might have got 2, we'll soon find out. It felt so far around that I thought I was going to lose my pick. Okay, 1's binding. Click, and 1 just clicked on me as well. Okay, now we haven't actually dropped into a false set yet, so that tells us that still going on 2. Yeah, there we go. Right. Okay, so we had to rotate that pick round so far on 2 that it looked like we were trying to jam the damn thing up through the top of the lock. We've dropped into a little false set. Now all we got to do is look for some inners. Nothing on 1, nothing on 2, nothing on 3, nothing on 4, must be 5, yeah it is. Okay, so got to click on 5. 1, got to click on that one as well. Again, that was an interactive one, and you saw me rotating that so far up it looked like I was poking it through the top of the lock. So what do we had? We've had 5, we've had 1. There's 2. Again, that looked pretty ugly. Alright, so we're only now a couple of inners away from getting this thing picked. Okay, that was 4. We're now in a huge false set, and I don't know what there is left to go actually. Let's just go through it from the back. 5 nothing, 4 nothing, 3 nothing, 2, I guess it must be 1. Yeah, it is. Okay, alright, so ridiculously simple. That, you know, look, that is just nowhere near as difficult as picking a proper multi-lock interactive. So, you know, if I had to rate this thing out of 10, I'd maybe give it a 2. If I had to rate the multi-lock interactive out of 10, I'd maybe give it a sort of a 6 or a 7 or something. So there you go, folks. Nice, easy tutorial for you. If you can find one of these Rav Bariach Locxis things, buy it because it's a great lock to learn on. If you can find one that has got the 2.5mm Allen keys across the top, I would definitely look for one of those because it makes the progressive pinning an absolute breeze. And as well as everything else, you're going to learn what it feels like to over-rotate your pick and do what you never do, which is take it round to the point where you think you might get it stuck. So, hope you learned something from that, folks. My name's Michael Maynard. This is Gorilla Picking. Please comment and subscribe down below. Let me know what you think of this thing. And thanks for watching. Have a good day, guys.